5 Lessons from Mediterranean Diets for Longevity. The Mediterranean diet, inspired by the eating patterns of countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain, is a blueprint for longevity, offering a delicious and sustainable way to enhance heart health, mental well-being, and overall vitality. In the realm of health and wellness, this diet stands out not just for weight management but for its proven ability to extend life and reduce chronic disease risk, particularly in older adults. Some embrace its principles, thriving into their later years, while others overlook its lessons, missing out on a scientifically backed path to longevity. Are you incorporating the Mediterranean diet's lessons into your life, or bypassing strategies that could add vibrant years? In this article, we're exploring 5 key lessons, grounded in research from trusted sources like the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, Mayo Clinic, and American Heart Association, AHA, that make the Mediterranean diet a cornerstone for long life. These aren't just tips. They're evidence-based practices backed by decades of studies on nutrition and aging. By the end, you'll understand these lessons, their impact, and how to apply them for lasting health. Stay with us until the end, because the choices you make today can shape a longer, healthier tomorrow. Let's dive in. Lesson 1. Emphasize plant-based foods for heart health. The first lesson from the Mediterranean diet for longevity is to emphasize plant-based foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and nuts, as the foundation of every meal to promote heart health. These foods are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and phytochemicals, which lower LDL cholesterol, reduce blood pressure, and protect against heart disease, a leading cause of death after 60. A 2024 Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health study found that diets with 70% plant-based calories cut cardiovascular risk by 20% and extended life expectancy by 3 to 5 years compared to low-plant diets. Imagine 2 retirees, Sarah and Ethan, both 65 and aiming for heart health. Sarah fills her plate with spinach, lentils, and quinoa, eating 5 to 7 plant-based servings daily, lowering her LDL from 140 to 110 milligrams per deciliter in 6 months. Ethan relies on processed meats and refined carbs, with minimal vegetables, seeing no heart health gains and facing higher stroke risk. Sarah's plant-based focus signals a longevity-enhancing habit, while Ethan's diet misses the mark. This aligns with the AHA's 2024 dietary guidelines, which recommend 4 to 5 servings of vegetables and fruits daily for cardiovascular protection. A plant-poor diet doesn't just raise heart risk, it accelerates aging through oxidative stress. To apply this lesson, aim for 1/2 your plate as vegetables or fruits per meal, e.g., 1 cup broccoli, 1 apple, 1 to 2 servings of whole grains, 1/2 cup quinoa, and 1 serving of legumes or nuts, 1/4 cup beans or almonds. Swap one meat-based meal weekly for a plant-based option, like a chickpea salad. Use apps like MyPlate to track servings. Ask yourself, am I emphasizing plant-based foods for heart health, or relying on processed options? Plant-based eating is a critical lesson for longevity. Lesson 2. Use olive oil as the primary fat source. Using olive oil as the primary fat source, replacing butter, margarine, or processed oils, is a cornerstone lesson from the Mediterranean diet for longevity. Extra virgin olive oil, rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenol, reduces inflammation, improves cholesterol profiles, and protects arteries, supporting heart and brain health. A 2023 Mayo Clinic study found that consuming 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil daily lowered LDL cholesterol by 10% and reduced heart attack risk by 15% in seniors over 5 years, compared to those using saturated fats. Picture 2 adults, Emma and Noah, both 60 and managing cholesterol. Emma cooks with olive oil, drizzles it on salads, and uses it for dipping, lowering her LDL from 150 to 125 milligrams per deciliter in 3 months. Noah sticks to butter and vegetable oil, seeing no lipid improvement and facing higher cardiovascular risk. Emma's olive oil habit signals a longevity-enhancing choice, while Noah's fat choices hinder progress. This echoes Harvard Health's 2024 Nutrition Guide, which endorses olive oil as a heart-protective fat for aging adults. Saturated or trans fats don't just raise LDL, they accelerate vascular aging, a concern after 60. To adopt this lesson, use 1 to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily for cooking or dressings, replacing other fats. Choose cold-pressed labels for maximum antioxidants, and store oil in a cool, dark place to preserve quality. Pair with vegetables to boost absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Ask yourself, am I using olive oil as my primary fat, or relying on less healthy fats? Olive oil use is a sign of a longevity-focused diet. If you're finding this helpful, comment number 2 below to let me know you're here, and let's keep going. Lesson 3. Eat fish regularly for omega-3s. Eating fish regularly, particularly fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines, for their omega-3 fatty acids, is a vital lesson from the Mediterranean diet for longevity. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, and improve heart rhythm, supporting cardiovascular and cognitive health, crucial for long life. A 2024 AHA study found that consuming 2 to 3 servings, 3 to 4 ounces each, of fatty fish weekly reduced heart disease mortality by 25% and improved cognitive function by 10% in seniors over 10 years. Consider 2 retirees, Ava and Liam, both 62 and aiming for brain health. Ava eats grilled salmon twice weekly and sardines once, boosting her omega-3 intake and maintaining sharp memory, with no heart issues. Liam rarely eats fish, relying on chicken and pork, missing omega-3 benefits and facing higher dementia risk. Ava's fish habit signals a longevity-enhancing choice, while Liam's diet lacks protective fats. This aligns with the Mayo Clinic's 2024 dietary guidelines, which recommend 8 to 12 ounces of fish weekly for heart and brain health. Low omega-3 intake doesn't just limit heart protection, it accelerates cognitive decline, a concern after 60. To apply this lesson, aim for 2 to 3 fish servings weekly, choosing fatty fish, 200 to 300 milligrams omega-3 per ounce, over lean types. If fish isn't an option, consider algae-based omega-3 supplements, 250 to 500 milligrams daily, after consulting a doctor. Bake or grill fish to avoid unhealthy oils, and try recipes like salmon with olive oil and herbs. Ask yourself, am I eating fish regularly for omega-3s, or missing these benefits? Fish consumption is a sign of a longevity-focused diet. Lesson 4. Limit red meat to reduce inflammation. Limiting red meat, beef, pork, lamb, to once or twice monthly, favoring poultry, fish, or plant proteins, is a key lesson from the Mediterranean diet for longevity. Red meat, high in saturated fats and heme iron, promotes inflammation and raises heart disease and cancer risk, shortening lifespan. A 2023 Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health study found that reducing red meat to 1 to 2 servings monthly cut inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein, by 20% and lowered mortality risk by 15% in seniors over 8 years. Imagine 2 adults, Lucas and Mia, both 65 and focused on health. Lucas eats red meat once monthly, favoring chicken and lentils, reducing his inflammation and maintaining stable blood pressure. Mia consumes beef thrice weekly, with high inflammation markers and elevated heart risk. Lucas's limited red meat signals a longevity-enhancing habit, while Mia's frequent consumption undermines her health. This echoes the AHA's 2024 Nutrition Guide, which advises capping red meat at 3 to 4 ounces monthly for optimal aging. Frequent red meat doesn't just inflame the body, it accelerates chronic disease, critical after 60. To adopt this lesson, replace red meat with poultry, fish, or beans in 90% of meals, aiming for 1 to 2 servings, 3 ounces, monthly. Use spices like rosemary to flavor alternatives, and try plant-based recipes like lentil patties. Track intake with a food diary to stay mindful. Ask yourself, am I limiting red meat to reduce inflammation, or eating it often? Red meat reduction is a sign of a longevity-focused diet. If this resonates with you, comment number 4 below to stay engaged, and let's move forward. Lesson 5. Enjoy meals socially to boost mental health. Enjoying meals socially, sharing food with family or friends regularly, is a powerful lesson from the Mediterranean diet for longevity, enhancing mental health and reducing stress, which supports overall well-being. Social eating fosters emotional connections, lowers depression risk, and reinforces healthy eating habits through shared routines. A 2024 Mayo Clinic study found that seniors eating 3+ meals weekly with others had 30% lower rates of depression and 20% better dietary adherence, adding 2 to 3 years to life expectancy. Picture 2 retirees, Chloe and Owen, both 63 and seeking vitality. Chloe hosts weekly family dinners and joins a lunch club, staying mentally sharp and sticking to Mediterranean meals, with no signs of loneliness. Owen eats alone most days, feeling isolated and straying to processed foods, increasing his depression risk. Chloe's social meals signal a longevity-enhancing habit, while Owen's isolation hinders his health. This aligns with Harvard Health's 2024 Mental Health Guide, which links social dining to emotional and dietary benefits. Eating alone doesn't just dampen mood, it weakens dietary discipline, impacting longevity after 60. To apply this lesson, share 3 to 5 meals weekly with others, like hosting a potluck or dining with friends. Plan Mediterranean-inspired meals, e.g., grilled fish, vegetable stew, to reinforce healthy habits. Join a local cooking class or community group if solo dining is common. Ask yourself, am I enjoying meals socially to boost mental health, or eating alone often? Social dining is a sign of a longevity-focused diet. Final thoughts. The Mediterranean diet is more than a meal plan. It's a lifestyle for longevity, blending nutrition, mindfulness, and connection to foster a longer, healthier life. Reflect on these 5 lessons. Are you emphasizing plant-based foods and olive oil for heart health? Do you eat fish for omega-3s, limit red meat to curb inflammation, and enjoy social meals for mental well-being? If these resonate, you're building a foundation for vitality. If gaps exist, you can start small to align with this proven approach. Take action today, add a vegetable to tonight's dinner, or cook with olive oil instead of butter. Plan a fish-based meal this week, swap a beef dish for beans, or invite a friend to share lunch. Your health is a lifelong investment, so nurture it with intention and joy. Listen to your body and the science, because the lessons you embrace today will fuel a vibrant, long tomorrow.